the new controversy surrounding Democratic candidate Raphael Warnock, some are suggesting that Jon Ossoff distanced himself from the Warnock campaign. For more on that, let's bring in our panel. Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall is here, and GOP campaign strategist Patrick Griffin. Good morning to both of you. Happy to see you. Leslie, should Ossoff distance himself from the Warnock campaign?
Actually, I would say no, Sandra, because we've seen both of those candidates benefit from this stronger together, not just having, online, but the rallies that they've held in person. So I would say no. Look, when you just look at the data and when you look at the people that are voting, a lot of people left to right are not really voting on issues. They're voting for party and they're voting for control of the Senate. And in a way, this is a referendum on Mitch McConnell, thumbs up or thumbs down.
Well, Alyssa Farah from the White House earlier, Patrick, was on, and she gave a warning of what it means to vote for Raphael Warnock in Georgia. Listen.
What you're witnessing in real time is a far-left attempted takeover of the state of Georgia, and it's extremely concerning, specifically with these some of the viewpoints that Raphael Warnock has endorsed. This is a far-left Democrat who, frankly, if elected, which I hope he will not be, would take Kamala Harris's mantle as the most liberal senator in the Senate.
So, Patrick, does that warning work? Is it effective with voters in that state?
Well, Sandra, both of these candidates are poster children for the most radical elements of the Democratic Party and stand for a lot of the same things, frankly, that lost Democratic House seats down ballot and that prevented Democrats from taking the Senate. Look, whether they campaign together or apart, Reverend Warnock is famous for his cries to defund the police, to promote a cancel culture, to ranting against Israel, supporting Marxism, and even Fidel Castro. These are not mainstream kind of ideas, and Georgia Democrats are going to have a hard time trying to not link these two together if, in fact, they choose to campaign together. So I think that this is a dangerous road. I think Georgia's got broad shoulders, but they know there's a lot more at stake here than just the importance of keeping all politics local.
All right,
this is about control of our government.
All right, so you've sounded off on that issue. Now to the issue of the Atlanta Braves name change, because the candidates are weighing in on this, so at least the Republican candidates are. Loeffler and Perdue put out a joint statement on the Atlanta Braves saying the Braves name honors our nation's Native American heritage, which should not be erased, and under no circumstances should one of the most celebrated teams in sports cave to the demands of the cancel culture and the radical left. Leslie, a vast majority of Georgians want the name to stay the same. So how will this play for the Democratic candidates in these races?
Well, that one issue, the name change of the Atlanta Braves, although 72% of Georgians agree with the two Republican candidates running, it's not a big issue for voters, whether they're Democrat, Republican, Independent, or undecided at this point in the race. For some, they're looking at an old Georgia versus a new Georgia, the past versus the future. For some, they're looking at the potential of having the first African-American senator in the state of Georgia. For others, again, it comes down to Mitch McConnell and who controls the Senate and how much power they give the president-elect Joe Biden.
Patrick, I'll ask you if you think this issue affects the races. And does Ossoff and Warnock need to weigh in and state where they stand on this?
Well, here's a classic example of the cancel culture birds coming home to roost. The fact of the matter is 70% of Georgians want to keep their baseball team and franchise the storied name that it is. 90% of Republicans. This is a classic example of these kinds of Democrats and the kinds of things they will promote in the U.S. Senate and in Washington writ large. I think this is a perfect example of a local issue really, in fact, infecting this particular race. I think it helps both Republicans.
Very interesting takes from both of you on that. Appreciate your time this morning. Good to see you, Leslie. Thanks, Patrick.
Good to see you, Sam.